Does Social Security need saving? Providing for retirees throughout the 21st century by Dimitri Papadimitriou and Randall Wray. Private and non-Social Security pension plans. If it makes little economic sense to accumulate OASDI trust funds to provide for retirees, does it make sense for private and non-Social Security public pension funds to accumulate trust funds? The answer is yes. Let us briefly examine the difference between Social Security and the other plans. Most pension plans today are defined contribution plans, with benefits determined by contributions and successful management of the funds. When an employee retires in 2020, her nominal benefits will depend to a large extent on the decisions made by the fund managers and on the performance of asset markets around the time she retires. Her real benefits will depend on the basket of goods and services that she will be able to purchase on markets. If her pension plan performs poorly in the years before her retirement basket will be small because her plan will have to rely on asset sales, for the most part, to pay her benefits. At best, her pension fund could raise the contributions required of its working members, a small subset of the total workers in the country, and a risky proposition on which most of today's fund participants would not wish to rely. The non-Social Security fund can affect the distribution going to its retirees only by changing the nominal benefits paid out, that is, only indirectly as beneficiaries try to purchase on the market the goods and services they desire. In other words, the non-Social Security pension plan has no direct way of shifting the distribution of output toward its pensioners, and thus cannot guarantee any real benefits. In contrast, Social Security can more directly affect distribution because not only can it raise nominal benefits, it also can increase its revenues substantially by levying a tax on payrolls. In effect, it has both blades of the scissors, benefits and payroll taxes, to use to redistribute real consumption to beneficiaries. Thus, quite apart from any accounting rules imposed on private pension plans by public law, they cannot operate the way a public, economy-wide retirement plan can operate. Even if it is true that accumulation of trust funds cannot affect the quantity of goods and services to be distributed in the future, private pension plans and non-Social Security public plans must accumulate trust funds to remain solvent and satisfy liquidity needs. This does not mean that accumulating funds will necessarily save private plans from experiencing a crisis when the baby boom retires. Long-term demographic changes do have effects on markets. The buildup of inflation in the 1960s and 1970s throughout the developed world may have been fueled in part by the baby boom bulge and its needs for increased infrastructure, schools, hospitals, transportation, and consumer goods. The strong asset markets of the 1990s are due in part to the fact that baby boomers are in their peak earning years and are purchasing assets for their retirement years, either individually or through pension plans. As the baby boom retires and tries to sell assets in the next century, it is possible that asset prices may be negatively affected, with real impacts on the quantity of goods and services that pensioners will be able to purchase. Thus, while an individual can and should save for the future retirement, exactly what that saving will be able to purchase in the future will depend on macroeconomic factors, including those that result from demographic trends. Society's response to projected trends can be, and should be, different from the response of individuals or large subsets of the population. Indeed, Social Security will be able to provide a safety net for individuals in private pension plans precisely because it can use both blades of the scissors as necessary to effect distribution in a manner that no private plans can.